It's me, Kelly, here at Don't Run with Scissors. I don't know what episode we're on. I'm lucky I know it's Monday anymore. Yeah. So welcome to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the little like button. It sends me a message and it tells me that you like me or that you subscribe to my channel, and it just sort of boosts my self-esteem. And I appreciate that. So, it's Monday. And my ASL professor has once again, the last minute, added not one, not two, but 3 new things to the syllabus that are due tomorrow. Now, in all fairness, we kind of knew on Thursday to expect them, but then we had some confusion in my study group as to whether or not we have a deaf joke we had to retell, which is really a story kind of joke. And I'm happy to share that if you would like. And maybe if I get through the rest of this really fast, I'll share that with you at the end. I don't know what that was, and now I'm kind of scared. I don't know. God knows. God knows. So I'll sign that for you at the end, because why not? So there was some confusion. Was that the final, or did he need to still add it? Like we were all confused about what counted. No, apparently not. He added it today, just a little while ago. Yeah. So I got the waiver. I think I told you guys about English 1510 and how I got a C rather than a C plus, and I need a C plus. Well, the department chair did approve my C from years ago. I mean, like, my C is from before I even had children, because it's pre-law school. So, and then I found out I don't need to take even the recommended electives for the program. Don't need those either. So then I got news today that there's a grant available and I'm eligible for it. And the question becomes so if I take 12 or more credits, the grant will pay all of my tuition plus my books. It will cover that. If I take less than 12 credits, it's like dramatically cut in half. It won't cover my credits. So, yeah, I'm taking 13 credits next semester. God help me. So we have ASL 3 and 4, Web Design 1, which should be a riot because we all know how I do technology, and Human Structures and Functions. Seems totally logical, right? So, I get to graduate. One day I'll graduate. Not tomorrow. Next Monday is my registration time and date. I can register starting at 7 in the morning. Bean gets to register on Wednesday. Bean is taking ASL 3 and 4 and web design with me. Yay for having a study buddy. I don't know what the boy child is doing. I really don't. Because he's got to schedule everything around this Monday night band class, which really limits, and he doesn't want to take ASL 3 and 4 with us. Well, child, I don't know what to tell you and where you're going, because my thought is even if they get their license next month with driving, the one campus is about a 30 to 40 minute drive, but we're also talking, it's Michigan, it will be night and snow and ice. And the thought of having my new driver out there that late at night is kind of crazy. So I may have to deal with my mother and arrange for things. So I may start drinking soon. And that's okay because I keep forgetting I buy beer. And I bought more beer.
I'm sorry, you have like 11 bottles.
So I have several cans in the refrigerator already. And several more that can go in there.
And like a bottle of wine.
And I bought a bottle of wine. Okay, so this is one of those side effects from having so many brain surgeries. So for a long time, I bought water bottles because I would forget that I had like my refillable water bottle because I knew the boy child had left mine in DC. So I bought water bottles every time I went to the store because I would remember the fact that I needed a new water bottle, but I wouldn't have remembered that I had already bought one.
Now you
So
have too many.
So now I have so then I had this stage of life where I had 40 water bottles because I forgot. So it's a wonder that I so far have only bought the same pattern, one duplicate, and the store was really gracious and refunded my money. And I would have totally understood if they didn't. Okay, so we're set to register for classes. So then my coach asked me to set some short-term goals because I seem to do better keeping on pace if I have short-term goals as well as my long-term goal. So my Tri Club does this thing in January, February, March because why not add more to a full schedule? Work full-time, go to school full-time. Let's add even more. So in January, I said I've never made... My club is really good about they'll let you add days to the month if you need to finish the goal of the month. So I finished January one year on day 56. Yes, there's a January 56 according to my Tri Club, and I'm going to take it. Because January's goal is to run 100 miles, which works out to a 5K roughly every day. I didn't do that. Now, February, the shortest I've achieved February is by February 2nd, and that's to bike 300 miles. So the sucky part is that January 1 this year, or in 2022, is a Tuesday. So I have class at night. So I could get up at the ass crack of dawn and start biking because nobody has a Tuesday morning class. Because I'm working out everybody's schedule so that I'm not driving so much and I can actually spend time in my office more than a couple hours here and there. So I could get up and but then I have to be done biking. I figure 300 miles, knowing my bike pace that I normally bike at. Sadly, it's going to take me about 15 to 18 hours. Which really isn't a sadly. That's a pretty good pace. But in order to be in class by 6:30, I have to leave here by 5:30. So back that up, I've got to wake up at 2 in the morning to be able to knock it out in one day. So I don't think I'm going to hit that goal. And then in February or in March, we swim 25,000 yards. Okay. So I've hit that one. And now I've been in the club just over 7 years. And the first year I didn't do it. I have finished in the top 5 women at least twice now, and in the top 5 overall once. So I talked to my coach and I was like, I want to hit it within the days allotted. In the actual calendar month, not on day 56. And ideally I would get the bike done. If it had fallen on any other day besides Tuesday, I would have liked to gotten it done February 1st. I may just push it back and then that first Saturday, just knock it all out. And then every other bike mile adds to your bonus, and puts you higher in the ranking. So then we were talking, and it's not enough to have one goal. Why? Why have one goal when you can have 47? So the other goal is so the closest, and I've come pretty close to this before I had brain surgeries, was running a 5K under 40 minutes. And I just haven't focused on my run to get it back. But the one I came close, I missed it by just right around a minute. But I had to tie my shoe once and the boy child's twice. And it was a hilly course. And I missed it by just less than a minute. So, but I want to do a race, not just on the treadmill, running kind of thing. I want it to be like an actual 5K where we run it a sub 40. So he's like, I think that's a great goal, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So then, Boston just happened. I don't need to qualify for Boston. Let's just clarify that right now. Right now, that is not a need I feel drawn to. But I did calculate the run pace that I would have to run a marathon in order to qualify for. And it works out to just below a 9-minute mile average for 26.2 miles. We don't need to do that. But I would like to run one sub 9-minute mile. Now, here's the thing. If I can run sub 9-minute miles for 3 miles, 3.1 miles, I'd actually make both my goals run a sub 40 because I'd be sub 50 or I'd be sub 30 at that point. So, yeah. So, we're going to work on that because why not? Yeah. We are still plugging away. We're doing the whips be done, whips be gone 2021 on Instagram. This last 25 days I completed 4 projects. I finished a dress. Actually, I finished it today, but I'm going to count today. Is last quarter. And then I FFO'd something that I worked on this last week. So that's kind of cool. I worked on the little gnome kit that I had showed you guys last week that I picked up at Home Goods. Yeah. And done a little bit of other stitching. It's been kind of crazy. Like I said, I've been working on projects. Around the school projects, house projects. Actually, I haven't really worked on much house project. I've been working on caseload, which is great. Not complaining. I've got a couple more cases to get filed tomorrow. So, that said, I'm exhausted and I'm hoping that I'm going to stop rambling. The 2 winners, the book went out. It should be delivered, I think, in this next week, according to Amazon. And then, fabric got shipped here instead of there. So I've already let you know. So that will go in the mail in the next couple days. It may even go in the mail tomorrow. I don't know. I have to get envelopes, like the bigger envelopes. And I know I have them at my office, but I don't think I have them here. So it just depends. Bear Lake went well. My hip and back held out for 1 lap, just barely. And we called it. There was no way. I think I told you guys that. Actually, now that I'm saying this, it sounds vaguely familiar, like we've already had this talk. Let's see what else. Boy Child had a music concert outside. Okay, I live in Michigan. It's October. Some of our days are still nice. Some of our days have been very wet. The other day, it was very brisk to be outside for over an hour. That said, he had a solo and he sounds really good. He sounds like you can see he's definitely improved. He plays at OCC. He made first chair. Very exciting. Okay, I'm just going to go on record, and this is going to sound so bad. But OCC is our community college. And they let community members play in their band. So understand that. Like they have a base where like some of the members have been playing their instrument for 20, 30 years. They're plus. So it's not just college kids playing. You've got a community band. OCC's band sounds way better than OU, who has music majors band. So it's actually kind of fun to go out there on Monday nights. It does take a lot out of me just because it's such a huge chunk of time and I can't always do what I want to get done. Today I had my hotspot on my phone so I could get onto my computer and do some work. I finished another book. It's something about, what the heck was it? And I returned it, so I don't even know if I have it. I know I have it because I always take a picture, so I post them on Instagram so I can keep track of the books I read, because that's a totally normal thing to do. It's called The Kill Shot, and it is about the pharmaceutical and how they drug manufacturers and some of the loopholes that are in the system if you're compounding drugs and things like that. And it was a really, really good read. The last couple books actually that I have read have been really good. I just finished up one. It says it's called I Have Been Buried Under Years of Dust. Fantastic. It's about a young lady who has autism. So you get both her mom's perspective of, having her as a baby and watching the signs and getting the diagnosis and stuff. And then finally getting her connected with one of those speaking devices where she can type into it and it will voice what she's saying. And it's her words through this machine, and how she finally got the ability to communicate and have language. And that one is really good. And then we just finished today a book about, what the heck is it called? Sensational. And it's about female reporters. Another fantastic book. And then I finished When Women Invented Television. It's good. I think it could have been better. Which may sound really mean, and I don't mean it to be. My big girl's over here. She's in a mood. She ate my shoe. My brand new shoes. She ate them. Well, she ate the one. And I have a feeling as much as she ate of the one, had she had access to the other one, she probably would have ate it too. I don't know what's gotten into her. She's never, up until this point, she's never been an overall my dog that will eat a lot of things. She'll get into the trash and stuff, but she's not a dog that, would eat shoes.
Hyper trying to get in the trash.
But lately she's been a big into the trash, almost every day, at least once. And then the shoe thing. I don't know what that's about. But it's really annoying. So, first things first, let me show you my FFO. I changed the pattern. I did. It's mine. I can do that. So I finished the little gnome embroidery. His little beard is all French knots. It's supposed to be another one loopy like this. I made it all French knots so it looks like it's all curly. I added jingle bells because I just felt like it needed jingle bells. And then I FFO'd it. It's totally finished. I don't even know who I am. I never SFO anything. You guys know this. It takes me forever unless it's a gift. And this is not going to be a gift. At least it's not planned to be a gift. It will sit on my little table during Christmas. Not right now. It's not Christmas. But we're all good. Okay, so y'all need to stop doing destashes and stuff because apparently I want all your stuffs. Yeah. Oh, that's my bag of beads and pom-poms and little jingle bells. So Michelle from Michelle Bendy had her destash. And I picked up several things. Amy, by the way, I have a package to mail you. it will go out when I mail out the fabric, and I have a couple other things that have to go out in the mail. I have to get them. I have to go to the office to get an envelope. So, I picked up this cute little. It's got all the finishing items in it and everything. It's super cute. Well, now I don't know, because now it looks like I stitch it right on the bag. Lord have mercy. I don't know. But it's cute. I don't know. I picked up Christmas Quaker for Michelle. Super cute. Apparently I wanted snowmen. I don't like snow. I don't know why I bought it. And I have a mermaid with her tatas hanging out.
What? Snow boots?
No, it's a mermaid.
Oh.
So I have that. And then a person on Instagram named Flamingo Toes. That's her business name. She was doing a D-stash. And I got these beautiful, very cute fat quarters for Halloween. And really and truly the only one. So she was selling like 2 or 3 sets of fat quarters, right? And they were a really good deal. And I didn't know, like, they were kind of all grouped together. And she's like, let me know. Like, if you want a set of fat quarters, let me know. Okay. See this fabric right here with the unicorns? That's the fabric I wanted. But I didn't know which fat quarter bundle it was in. And people were shopping super fast. So I just bought all the fat quarters. So now I have the unicorn. But I have all these other ones too. But that's the only one I really, really wanted. There's a couple other really cute ones in here too. But like, my go-to aesthetic would not be spooky spiders. And then she also, she had swimming. That's totally me. And then this really pretty, oh hell. Sorry. Flamingos. So those were really pretty. And then she also, ironically, now what's funny is I didn't realize she's actually right here in Michigan. I could have driven to her house probably just as fast as it took to get them in the mail. But these are so cute. They're by Flamingo Toes. Super cute. Super cute. So, yeah. Am I mad that I shopped? Nope. Do I know when I'm going to do any of it? Nope. Because, yeah. So, I did get some stitching. I kind of got tired of Pikachu. I've been working so hard on it, and I've been making fantastic progress on it. Don't get me wrong. I needed a break because this has been, it's been almost like monogamous. Well, it has been monogamous stitching for a while now. And in some ways, I feel like I'm so close to getting this finally done. So I'm like trying to push through like, oh God, I got to work on this again. And then I look at it sometimes and I'm like, oh my God, I still have so much to do. And I have to push myself to get more of it done because I need to have it done for this lady. So we did get quite a bit done. It's getting there. It's getting there. I think I'll feel better. Well, once my hair or my dog's hair is not all through it. It's one of those things. If you don't like dog hair, I'm going to apologize right now, but you probably will never want something sent directly from me, especially if I've worked on it, because my dog's hair is sort of it's like sending something with glitter. It is just the gift that keeps giving. And if you have dogs, you likely understand that. So I have a little bit of confetti up in here. And then once that is done, really a big chunk of it is done. But if I could get the little bits of confetti up in here done, and either this section or Pikachu itself done, I would feel much better, because the bottom is really just a lot of a few different colors, which makes it kind of boring to stitch, but at the same time it makes it brainless when I'm stressing out about other things. I did find out my teacher for ASL, he rounds up. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. It's kind of pissed me off. I wrote the second deaf culture report, and I did it on a video from Gallaudet University, which is a fantastic university for the deaf. And they put out a video about the ADA and, when it was signed and all of that. So I wrote my paper about that. We're supposed to keep it to a 1-page paper with a 12-point font and double-spaced. Okay? That's not a whole lot of writing, really, when you think about it. Now, the first paper I went a little bit over because I spent like 5 hours researching the subject and everything like that. This time I was like, okay, I'm not going to spend 5 hours on that. That is ridiculous. So I didn't spend 5 hours on it. I spent, I still worked on it over an hour between watching the video a couple times to make sure I didn't miss things and writing the paper and whatnot. His feedback was, you're a lawyer. I expected more from you, especially on the ADA. First of all, that's an assumption that even though I'm a lawyer, that I practice an area of law that would be that I would be well versed in the ADA. There are a lot of people who know nothing about the ADA and misuse it all the time, or try to misuse it. Second of all, you didn't tell me that you were holding me to a different standard just because I have prior degrees. And there was no notice, hey, if you're a lawyer and you're going to cover the ADA, you need to make sure it's much more in-depth analysis. Because I can do a really good analysis, thorough analysis of the ADA. I've done papers on the ADA. The shortest paper I've ever written on the ADA is about 20 pages. I don't think he wants to read my 20-page analysis of the ADA. So he deducted 3 points off my paper. And that was my feedback. So Tuesday, at about 9 o'clock, I'm having a couple celebration beers because I'm done with that class with him. Not even going to lie. Because we're on... Well, and that's the other part of that is because we're not meeting in class that night, we just have to take our our comprehensive tests and stuff like that online during the 3-hour block of time. I don't think we're doing student evaluations. And I'm calling bullshit on that one. Because I could send the evaluation through my email to the department chair, who would normally get all of those. But traditionally, they're done anonymously. And there's something to be said about the ability to do one of those anonymously. If I send it from my email, through any of my emails, it's going to have my name on it. Yeah. So, we shall see. We shall see. Okay, so the other project, I pulled this out because I actually really miss stitching on this. I love this piece. It's almost as fun to stitch as I had fun doing 3 small words. And I zoomed through 3 small words once I figured out, okay, it's okay if I totally change it, except for the actual words. Which I need to FFO too. Part of it is I need to paint that board, and I'm not sure what color my board I should paint it, because it's going to go essentially on, probably on this wall, or a wall of that color. So do I paint it the same color that's on the bottom here, and then it can kind of rest on my little ledge? Or do I paint it the green? Or do I do something totally different? I don't know. And that's why nothing gets finished in my house. Except for the gnome pillow, which I don't know why all of a sudden it was like, okay, that's what we need to do. Okay, so that said, I pulled out 99 by Ink Circles. If you are not familiar with 99, this is it. This is it in black and white. And it's really cool because each bottle actually represents a real beer. She gives you the list of beers so you can check them off as you go. It's not that many colors. You would think, given that it's 99 different beer labels, that it would be more colors. But including the shelf and the brackets, let me pull out my little list of colors. I don't even think that's 20 colors. I mean, that's literally the list. So it's not that many colors, but I could see where somebody who, like if you want to stitch big chunks of color like are in Pikachu, you're not going to get that with this. There is still quite a bit of thread changing. I don't necessarily mind that. That said, dun, 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 we have added 2 more beers down here. To 99. So I'm hoping to add, I think there's one more. Let me look. Yeah, one more in this row. And then there's another row down here, and I will have the page finish. So God willing, depending on how things go, I have, oh, and I got the list of questions still from the sign group. The sign club sent me their list, which is a great, they're decent questions. They're questions I would have expected if we were sitting having a conversation. But because I'm not, like, they want me to type out my answers so that they can review them and stuff like that, it's taking me a while longer. And I'm like, okay, I'm not, like, it's not client work, classroom work kind of thing take priority and stuff like that, right? So I got a note from the board members that I've been talking to. And she's like, do you have that filled out yet? No, I don't. And she's like, well, we just kind of wanted to remind you of, like, ideally the deadline would be the 25th of October. And I was like, yeah. So I wrote her back. Well, see, I'm really contemplating what I'm writing you for answers, and I want to make sure that I'm thorough and really expressing what I want to express. Which translates from lawyer to English into, I haven't gotten to it, bitch, but I got it on my agenda. Really? You're student? This is why the board has 4 people on it. Maybe 5. Yeah. So, but that, like, my stitching plans literally is to work is still on Pikachu and 99. I have 3 more dresses that I have cut out that I'd like to get done because they're sitting on my table, and I'd like to knock them out, because once I have that off my table, then I can well, one I'd have less stuff on my dining room table, but then I can take the fabric and start cutting it out to make my project bags, which I desperately need a bunch of, because somehow in my laundry I washed it. But you know how socks disappear when you dry them and stuff? Apparently my dryer likes project bags. And the one project bag that I've been storing 99 in went the same way as some of my socks. I don't understand this. So right now all of the flosses for 99 is in my fancy Ziploc bags. Here we go. This is the Ziploc bag for 99. Because one of the reasons I wasn't I hadn't been working on it as much is because Pikachu's in a project bag. It's easy to just grab everything. Where 99, I didn't even have the floss in a Ziploc. They were literally sitting in a pile with my cloth and the pattern. And so I was like, how do I do this? So I finally put it in Ziploc. So that's why I got some work done. I have a Pop-Tart right. I had a Pop-Tart for dinner. Pop-Tart and an ice cream cone. So yeah, that's all I've really gotten done. Oh, my ASL joke. Okay, so hopefully you don't need to know ASL to understand the joke, hopefully. Okay, so, but I'll speak through my joke. So there's a guy who gets dressed in the morning with his shirt. His shirt, 3 buttons down his shirt. It's a plaid shirt. And he puts on his hat. And he packs his lunch. That's important. And then he has an axe. It's a big axe, like you go chopping trees down. Because the guy is a lumberjack, which you don't know that. Because unless you know, you know. So he takes his axe, and he takes his lunch, and he's going walking through the forest. And he sees the trees. And he sees a nice sized tree. And so he chops the tree. And he yells, "Timber!" And the tree falls. Life is good. So he goes walking again. And he sees a big tree. And he decides he's going to chop it down. So again, he chops it down. And he yells, "Timber!" And the tree falls. So then he stops for lunch and he has his sandwich and his apple and his coffee that he's drinking. And he finishes and he ties up. So then he takes his axe and his lunchbox and he keeps going. And he sees this big tree. And he's going to cut that one down. So again, he goes whack. And he yells, "Timber!" And the tree doesn't fall. And he's like, "What's up?" So he tries again. And he yells, "Timber!" And the tree doesn't fall. So he takes out his phone. And he calls the doctor. And he says to the doctor, "I chopped the tree. And the first tree fell. And I chopped the tree. And the second one, it fell when I yelled timber. But the third tree, I chopped. And I yelled timber, but it didn't fall. Why?" So the doctor says, "I don't know. I'll come out and check it out." So he waits for the doctor to come. So the doctor gets there and he says, "Again, chop the tree. I yelled timber, but it won't fall." The doctor says, "Let me see." He puts on his thing, checks the tree. He says, "I know why. The tree is deaf." The guy says, "Oh, okay. Back up." So he chops again. The tree's not falling. So he yells, "Timber!" And the tree falls. And you can't help but laugh because I've had to practice all of that more times than I care to count. The tree, the tree is deaf. So he couldn't hear him when he yelled timber. And with that bad joke, I will let you go. By the way, Amy, if you're listening to this, when are we going to start the Mermaid Lagoon? Because clearly I need another thing on my plate. Yeah. All right. Good night. I'll see you guys all later. I hope you're having a great week. As always, if there's something I can do, let me know. Either pop it down below or hit me up on Instagram, his Princess Kelly, all one word. And we will go from there. I'll talk to you later. Bye.